Alright, guys, welcome back to the Fighter's Eye podcast. I know I haven't posted in a week. I haven't posted an interview in almost 3 weeks, I think, bro. It's been difficult to get interviews. But today, we're breaking down UFC Fight Night, Taira versus Hung Seung Park. It was meant to be Taira versus Albazi, but Albazi pulled out of another fight, unfortunately, with an injury. Something about UFC medical team wouldn't clear him. So, um, an unranked flyweight gets a main event. He's not even ranked, but it's cool. Welcome to the UFC in 2025, guys. But we're gonna be breaking down every card, or every fight on the card, I should say. And yeah, let's get right into it. First fight. I'm on Tapology, so I don't know if this is actually the first fight. Austin Bashi versus John Yanis. Yanis. I don't know who John Yanis is. To be honest, I know who Austin Bashi is. He fought a pretty decent guy in Christian Rodriguez in his debut. He was undefeated, and then he lost. I picked Christian Rodriguez, so that was a slick pick by me. Uh, looks like looks like most of this John Yanis hit most of his wins come by KO. Yeah, he's 8-3. Oh, he just beat Nick Argotti. Oh, okay, that's actually a good win. Okay, I had him on the channel a long time ago, like almost a year ago. Yeah, Nick Argari gave Peyton Talbot a tough fight back in 2023. He just beat Nick Algary back in May by TKO. So it looks like in the main event. So it's definitely a good win. Good win, good win, good win. Um his last weigh-in was 139 pounds, so he missed weight because Nick Algary's a bantamweight. But he's 9-3. Most of his wins come by KO. Austin Bashi got pretty good grappling. He's pretty alright on the feet. Nothing too crazy on the feet. He's pretty basic, to be honest. But I believe most of his wins come by submission, if I'm not mistaken. 38% of his wins come by submission. Hmm. Yeah, he lost to Christian Rodriguez, but before that was on a 5-fight finishing streak. Uh, yeah, it looks like he gets fights canceled pretty often, but it's a tough one because Austin Bashi looked good in the first round against Christian Rodriguez back in January, so it has been 7 months, and then he gassed out and lost his fight 2 rounds to one. Now he's fighting Francis Marshall. Or he was meant to fight, excuse me, he was meant to fight Francis Marshall on this card. Marshall pulled out. I was gonna pick Francis Marshall, but for this one, man, I don't know who the favorite is because this fight was literally announced yesterday. So I'm gonna go John Yanis by decision. If I'm being honest, I think he just has better wins than Austin Bashi. I mean, Bashi hasn't beat anybody notable on the regionals. And Yanis' last win against Nick Argary, he was in round 4 and he got a TKO. Nick Argary had a go fight in the UFC, fought Peyton Talbot. It was pretty competitive with him. So he also fought it looks like he also fought Cameron Smootherman. He lost by split decision, but Cameron Smootherman isn't that bad either. Yeah, I'm gonna go John Yanis by decision, 29-28. Unanimous. I think he's gonna lose that first round pretty clearly. Bashi's a quick starter, great grappling early, and then I think Yanis is gonna be able to pick it apart or pick it up, pick him apart on the feet more and more and more. And yeah, because most of his wins are by KO. I don't see him stopping him. I think Christian Rodriguez could have been able to stop Ashton Bashi. I don't think Yanis is, and yeah, give me John Yanis by 29-28 decision to kick off the card. Next fight. Women's MMA, Piera Rodriguez versus Ketlin Souza. I saw Piera Rodriguez fight at UFC Tampa against Josephine Knutson. I picked Knutson, and Piera Rodriguez had a great performance. Out-grappled her. I believe there was 30-27 decision. She looked really good. Yeah, 50% of her wins are by KO. So yeah, she has 2 losses, one by decision, or one by disqualification, and one by submission. And then she's fighting Ketlin Souza, who's fought Angela Hill, lost by split decision. I believe that was in August of last year. And but she's pretty damn good, pretty powerful, stocky. I mean, Brazilian, hits hard, grappling's pretty decent. She's 2-2 in the UFC. She lost to Karine Silva. That's not a bad loss. She lost to Angela Hill. Oh, that was in February. Excuse me. I thought that was in August. Could have sworn Angela Hill beat somebody in August. But yeah, her last fight she lost to Angela Hill. And then before that, she knocked down and then submitted Yasmin Jussergi. She's a bigger underdog there and cashed. She looked really good in that one. Um, most of her finishes are about, or most of her losses are about her getting stopped. Excuse me, two by submission, two by knockout. Um, Kellen So's the underdog, which I see why. Pierre Rodriguez got good grappling. She got she got decent stand up. Pretty simple boxing, kicking, like leg kick. She got hard leg kicks, but so does Catlin Souza. She's about to turn 30. Pierre Rodriguez is about to turn 33. Um, jeez. I actually don't know who to pick. I know this is female May. Doesn't really matter. But trying to be accurate. I went 3-9 last week on predictions. I looked horrible there with that prediction card. But um, I think I'm gonna give it to Pierre Rodriguez. Could be wrong. She just has looked better recently. She dominated Josephine Newton. She looked good in the grappling. The feet, she looked all right. Newton is a pretty good kickboxer, and Pierre Rodriguez had her own. I mean, she got submitted by Jillian Robertson back in 2023, but that's Jillian Robertson, who was pretty good. And she got disqualified in May of 2024. But other than that, she doesn't look bad. She's won her other UFC fight. She beat Sam Hughes, which isn't the worst loss or worst win. It's pretty good. So yeah, give me Pierre Rodriguez probably by split decision. I think if Souza can stop 50% of the takedowns, it'll be a close fight. It could go either way. But I think Pierre Rodriguez is just gonna eke it out. I think so. I think she's gonna be pretty decent on the feet. She's gonna be able to clip Catlin with some counter shots and maybe go first, go third on that. Like she throws, then Catlin throws, and then she throws back. And I think she'll be able to implement the grappling pretty often, and especially early on when they're fresh, when they're dry. Where she can hold down Ketlin Souza a little more easy. So, yeah, give me Pierre Rodriguez by decision. 29-28 split decision. Next fight, Rafael Estevam versus Felipe Boons. I was watching Hajov Picks video yesterday, his early breakdown, and he says some really accurate. A lot of people think Felipe Boons is a bum. He's not. He's had a lot of fights in Russia. Most of his wins come by stoppage, and then most of his losses come by decision. Like he got TK'd by Joshua Van, who's the number one contender. Like, come on now, y'all. It's the number one contender. He didn't do that bad on the feet. He got TKO'd. It's all right, so he did pretty bad. But and then he fought Jose Johnson a year later in his last one. Submitted him with armbar in round one. Made easy work of Jose Johnson. And then he was meant to fight Andre Lima on this card. Jeez. Andre Lima is probably the best unranked flyweight. But in steps Rafael Estevam, who has had trouble making 125 pounds on full notice. He's on pretty decently short notice. Like, yeah, most of his wins come by decision. He's only 2-0 in the UFC. Beat Charles Johnson, but he came in way overweight for that. And I think he arguably could have lost. And then Jesus Aguilar, he beat back in February. Again, he didn't even look good in that. He gassed out late and just won the first 2 rounds. And yeah, he fought Charles Johnson in 2023 and then fought Jesus Aguilar in 2025. So he had some time off for sure. I gotta go Estevam though. I mean, there's a reason why Estevam's like a 4-1 favorite. I think, man, he's a big favorite. Yeah, he's minus 500. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Don't put him in your parlay though because Felipe Bunes does hit pretty hard. His cardio is not good either, to be honest. But he's 35 as well. Bunes is up there in age. Neither of their cardio is good. Felipe Bunes has the better striking, and SFM has the better grappling. But I think SFM is just gonna be able to get the first 2 rounds, and he'll probably lose the third round. To be honest, I think that first round is gonna be a good round for SFM. I think he's gonna be able to land a couple jabs and then shoot a double leg, get a takedown, work him there, work him there. He's not really a ground and pound guy. He's more of a hold you down and look for the submissions kind of, but just mainly hold you down and kill time and just win positions, which is not the best style and it's not going to give you favorable things in the UFC. Like UFC is not going to fast track you to the title doing boring fights like that. And Felipe Bunes, I mean, he has good striking. His takedown defense is actually pretty decent. I think it's like 80 something. So he's pretty difficult to take down, but I think that first round is going to be Estevam. Second round, Estevam, if he can make weight, his cardio is going to be even worse. Second round could go either way, but I think Estevam is going to get an early takedown, hold him down for 2, 3 minutes, and then Bunez will be in, and then Estevam will gas out. Bunez will work his way up, start landing body shots, start landing boxing combos. And it's like based on damage, Bunez won, but based on overall round, Estevam probably won. And then round three, I think Bunez is going to be able to stop takedowns a lot easier, piece them up a lot more. They'll both be tired. Final 90 seconds, I think they'll just be standing there throwing jabs. And I think Bunez will just do more damage to win the third. And Esteban will get a 29-28 decision. And he'll probably have to fight another unranked guy because, dude, you don't deserve a ranking if you're gassing out in the third round 3 fights in a row and you're holding them down, not trying to do damage, not trying to do anything. Just hold them down and sit there. But yeah, I gotta go Esteban, 5-1 favorite. I hope he loses though because yeah, he just makes his fights boring. It's like he makes his fight boring on purpose, and it's frustrating to watch. But yeah, give me Estevan by decision, I guess. 3 decisions in a row to kick off the card, but next fight should be a good one. I'll fight it. Rodolfo Vieira, versus Tresean Gore. Was DMing with Tresean Gore a couple weeks ago. Super nice guy. We're working on an interview. He said ask him, after the fight, I think, something like that. But yeah, pretty nice guy. He fought Marcio Tool in his last one. He took a lot of damage. I actually don't like that he's coming back already because he got pretty messed up. He got pretty pieced up too. Yeah, it was a bad loss, and it was back in April. So yeah, it was a little time ago, but not really though. But yeah, he came back in November, guillotined in Coley for his only wins in the UFC are by guillotine. So yeah, guillotined him, and then fought Marcelo Tulio and got pretty pieced up, and then got knocked out halfway, a little more than halfway through round two. He took like over 100 significant strikes or something. It was crazy. He took a beating, but he's fighting Rodolfo Vieira, who's pretty up there in age. His jiu-jitsu is pretty good. His grappling is pretty decent. His boxing isn't that bad, but to be honest, I think Rodolfo Vieira has the advantage everywhere, and I'm gonna go Rodolfo Vieira by submission. I'm gonna say by submission, probably rear naked choke. Um, I think pure wrestling, Christian Gore is better, and off his back he can of course get the guillotine, which is like Rodolfo Vieira has 2 things to look out for: the overhand right and the guillotine of Trishan Gore. Other than that, I think Vieira would will be able to do pretty decent in this fight. Unless he gets guillotined, which he's a submission black belt, jiu-jitsu black belt. He's been submitted in the UFC by Anthony Hernandez, I believe it was. And Hernandez was a big underdog. He got submitted there. But yeah, this is the only submission loss is to Anthony Hernandez. Yeah, it was a guillotine as well, which is crazy. But I mean, he's fought Chris Curtis. He's fought Armin Petrosian. He did a grappling thing against Derek Brunson and submitted him. His last fight against Armin Petrosian, he got just outclassed on the feet and beat up a little bit. Not beat up, but it was pretty close. But Petrosian clearly won. And then yeah. So Vieira's coming off a loss. Tristan Gore coming off a brutal loss, got KO'd. He's 2-3 in the UFC. Rodolfo Vieira's 5-3. Yeah, Vieira's a 2-1 favorite. I gotta agree. I think he's better jiu-jitsu. I think he's better in the clinch. I think he's better on the feet, just pure technique and striking ability. So I'm gonna go Rodolfo Vieira by submission, rear naked choke. Round 2 or 3. I think round one would be pretty competitive on the feet, but I think Vieira's gonna get it. Round two, I could see Trish. Excuse me, I have my mouthpieces in. I could see Trishan Gore shooting a double leg in Vieira, sprawling, getting to the back, working his way, landing shots to the side of the head, getting on the back, and Tristan Gore rushes and gets rear naked choked. And actually, but my thing is, I don't think Tristan Gore's the type of tap. I think he's, get choked out. So, yeah, I don't think he's just gonna tap. But I do think Rodolfo, bro, these mouthpieces are so annoying. I have like my Invisalign in. Rodolfo Vieira is going to be able to get the submission round two. I'll say round two, rear naked choke. He gets back in the win column. And he can probably fight someone right outside the top 15, maybe someone like Shara Magomedov or something like that. But yeah, give me Rodolfo Vieira. Next fight, Rinya Nakamura versus Nathan Fletcher. Um, Rinya Nakamura was undefeated, and then he had the worst performance I've ever seen out of a prospect ever against Muin Gafarov. Back in January, he didn't even really shoot any takedowns. He just looked horrible. To be completely transparent, he looked horrible, and yeah, he looked really bad. Lost that fight very clearly. I don't know how. Muin Gafarov's not that good, but he somehow managed to lose. He's fighting Nathan Fletcher, who I really like as a prospect. He fought Callum Lochran back in London. It was a really close fight. It's weird. Colin Lochran got the win, and then he got cut from the UFC for whatever reason. I have no clue why. But yeah, Nathan Fletcher, back in September made his UFC debut. Got a great submission win. Fought Colin Lochran back in March and lost by split decision. I thought he won, but he lost. I thought he won though. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. Because they're both grapplers. I would give the striking. I mean, based off Pereira's not last fight, he should not be a 4-1 favorite. Like, what is he, minus 430? He should be like minus 200. I think Fletcher has good potential. He trains with Tom Aspinall and Patty. I know he trains with Patty Pimblett, but I believe also Tom Aspinall up in London. So he trains with a pretty damn good gym. He's only 27. Rinya's 30. He's already up there in age. He's only 9-1 too, and he's already up there. Fletcher's 9-2. I'm tempted to pick Nathan Fletcher because he's pretty good off his back and he's able to work his way up. But Renya's top pressure is pretty good. Again, he's kind of like what's his name, Rafael Estevam, where he just holds you down. He doesn't try to look for submissions. I mean, he looks for arm triangles. He always turns arm triangles. But other than that, he doesn't like try to get in top mount, like land elbows. He doesn't try to get a rear naked choke. He doesn't try to get a guillotine off sprawl position. He doesn't really do anything like that. He kind of just holds you down, little pepper shots to the body. Maybe he'll like smack you with a hand fist on your face. But other than that, he won't try to do damage. He won't try to win by submission. He'll hold you down and work you like that. And it's a boring style, and it's why a lot of people talk about him because his striking, he has great kicks. I will say that his body kicks, his head kicks are clean. The front kicks to the face are pretty decent as well. But Fletcher's got good boxing. I believe he knocked down his opponent's UFC debut. I know his name, but I don't know how to pronounce it. I know what he looks like too. Let me pull it up. Zygamatis Ramaski. I don't know how to say your name, bro. But yeah, he knocked him down with like a counter hook, I believe. I feel like I've seen it. I mean, he's pretty good in close. Like Nathan Fletcher's boxing, like tight in close boxing is decent, and he hits pretty dang good for a bantamweight that's like on the rise. But I gotta go Rinya. I think Rinya will get it done. Close decision. I'm gonna say 29-28 decision. He gets that first round and probably gets the second, and then he also doesn't have that good of guessing. I don't know what it is with like heavy grapplers. Like they just don't have good guessings. And I think Fletcher's gonna start, you know, coming in and ripping hooks to the body, knees to the body. And I think he's going to start doing that from the first round all the way to the third. But I think that third round he's going to be really effective with it. And I think that's how he's going to get that third round, ripping body shots. In the clinch, he's not bad. Like maybe off the break, land a knee to the head, something like that. And I think Fletcher will get that third round. And it's like, dang, if Fletcher did this early on in the fight, he probably would have won. I got to go Rinya. Yeah, yeah. They're both, I believe Rinya's 2-1 in the UFC. I believe. He is 3-1. What? Oh yeah, he beat Carlos Vera. He beat some random dude, Fernie Garcia, and then he got a beautiful KO over Tamaza, who's not that good either. But his only good win is Carlos Vera. But yeah, I think he's gonna get a pretty decent win over Nathan Fletcher. Nathan Fletcher. Sorry, bro. This Invisalign like messes up my speaking, but my speaking, whatever you want to call it. But yeah. Dude, this video's whoa. This video's not that good. It's okay. But yeah, give me Rinya Nakamura, 29-28 decision, and we're gonna move on. Uh I don't think this is the featured prelim, but it says it is. Nick Klein versus Andre Pulyev. I had Nick Klein on the channel a month or two ago. pretty chill guy. Minus 115 on each side. It's a pick 'em fight. They're both 0-1 in the UFC. Nick Klein fought Mansour Abdul Malik on short notice, and he looked really hesitant in the first round. He didn't look like he was ready for the moment. And then round two, he landed a beautiful spinning elbow, and we thought, oh, okay, Nick Klein's pretty good. And then I don't know if he had an adrenaline dump. I don't know if he got hit with a body shot that fatigued him. Because Mansour does land a lot of knees to the body, but he gassed out and then got TKO'd. And then Andre Puliev fought on the Contender Series, got a great win. I believe it was, yeah, he was a big underdog. I remember he was a big underdog. Got a beautiful win there, put a beating on the guy, and then fought Christian Leroy Duncan back in London and got beat up in the clinch and outworked completely throughout the entire fight. Kind of let people down. I think people thought it was going to be a banger fight. I think people thought it was going to be fight of the night. It was going to be close, but Andre Puliev kind of just got beat up. Um, yeah, so they're both 0-1 in the UFC. I think this is a tough fight for Klein. Uh, Puliev's striking is good. He hits pretty hard. His timing's pretty good. And Nick Klein doesn't have the best counter striking. Like if you're boxing with him, he's gonna get he's gonna get hit more than he hits you. And I don't like that. But he's all right in the clinch. I think like if he can work Andre Puliev against the cage and then get to the back and drag him down, or be able to work, get the hams clapped around the waist and get double legs, and then maybe he has a chance to win. But as a betting, it's a pick 'em. It's literally even. Andre Puliev has a reach and a half advantage. He's 3 inches taller. Um, he's also younger. Nick Klein is almost 30. 6-2. Puliev's 9-3. I mean, it's a close fight. I can see both men winning, but I think if Klein wins, I think it will be by submission. He'll just work down Andre Puliev and eventually submit him. And I think Puliev could win by knockout. He could win by decision. Um, it's tough, man, because Nick Klein is a super chill guy. But I think I think I'm gonna go Andre Puliev by decision. Probably split decision. I don't think Andre Puliev will ever be that good in the UFC. And yeah, I think this is too early. Nick Klein's only 6-2. He definitely is like newer in his career, and his fighting style is pretty good. I like it. The grappling's pretty decent. On the regionals, he was taking chances on the feet. He was clipping people. Um, and I don't know if it's just he was starstruck in the UFC debut. I mean, both of his losses are by knockout, which I don't like, but 50% of his wins are by submission and 33 are by knockout. He's mostly a finisher. And of course he's only had 8 fights. But yeah, I think Puliev's gonna get a decision. I'm gonna say 30-27 decision on one scorecard and then 29-28 on the others. I think it'll be I think Nick Klein will get the first round. I think he'll be able to hold him against the cage, work them when they're fresh, land knees to the body, land some like elbows off the break. But after that, um, I think Puleo will find his range on the feet. I think he'll be able to hit him with some calf kicks, hit him with them teeps to the body. In close, I think Andre Puleo will be able to rip knees to the head in the clinch, uppercuts to the head in the clinch. Pick him apart, keep him at range with the jab because he is taller and longer than Klein. So I got to go Puleo. Shout out Nick Klein though, amazing guy. Um, I don't like picking against people that I interview, but I just have to be more realistic sometimes. So yeah, I gotta go Andre Puliev. But I hope Nick Klein gets it done. Next fight, main card opener. Danny Silva versus Kevin Vallejos. This fight should be an absolute banger. Danny Silva, I believe he's 3-0 on the UFC. 2-0, I think, actually. Both by decision. He is 2-0, yeah. And then on the Contender Series, he put Oh, I remember this fight, dude. Oh, this is him against Angelo Pacheco. Oh, I remember this fight. Wow. Okay, I actually remember that fight. That fight was epic, bro. I actually remember that fight. Dude, if you guys know what fight that was on the Contender Series, that was like a fight of the year in MMA in general. It was so good. And then he's fighting Kevin Vallejos, 15-1. His only loss is this Jean Silva by like split decision or like close decision. Oh, unanimous. But it was in 2023. He went back to the regionals, got 2 finishes, and then got a finish on the Contender Series. And then his last fight KO'd Sungwoo Choi back in March. I know he wanted to get on 317, the International Fight Week. but they didn't manage to get him on. And I'm gonna go Kevin Vallejos by KO. I like Danny Silva. I actually think he's quite good. Quite good. He has a win over Josh Coolbaugh, which is a pretty all right win. I mean, Josh Coolbaugh was really competitive with Lerone Murphy a couple years ago, and then he beat Lucas Almeida, who isn't the best, but is Lucas Almeida. You know, he's been in the UFC for a little minute now, so that's a good win. Silva's 10-1, Vallejos 15-1, and yeah, I gotta go Kevin Vallejos. I think he's kind of like Elite Sporia. He's only 5'7". Um, he's 23 though. He's 5'7", so he's gonna be able. He's gonna need to be able to get past the jabs, the 1-2s of Danny Silva, and what's like the Elliott Sport, have him slip, 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 slip like that, kind of like Mike Tyson. Also, he's gonna have to watch out for the knees because Danny Silva could time a knee to the chin when he's slipping in. But I think Vallejos is gonna. Oh, one more thing, Vallejos' body shots are so good. The rips to the body, the hooks to the body, the jabs to the body, the jab to the body, and then the overhand. His boxing's really good. It's something that I wish he was in the UFC earlier for, so that we could have gotten Vallejos versus Ilya at featherweight, but we're not gonna get it. But um, yeah, I think Vallejos is the future featherweight, and I think he's gonna come in here, clip the chin to Danny Silva. I'm gonna say round two. I think round one will be pretty competitive. I think Silva will clip him some calf kicks. Maybe knock him off balance with a calf kick. Be able to stick him with some jabs. Then second round, Vallejos is gonna start locking in more and more and more. I think eventually he's just gonna be able to slip a punch and land an overhand and drop Danny Silva, follow up some ground and pound. Silva try rolling in the back, but he's gonna be too hurt. Vallejos just gonna keep raining down shots, and the ref will call it about like midway through round two. And I could even see Danny Silva win in the first round based on like using his range and using the body kicks and the long shots. And but I think eventually Vallejos will clip him and put him out. And yeah, I think Vallejos is definitely the future of featherweight. He's minus 470, which is a bit too big of a line, but I understand. Vallejos is actually really, really good. So yeah, give me Kevin Vallejos by KO. Next fight, Neil Magny versus Zaleski. Is Zaleski? I don't know, bro. Zaleski dos Santos. He says like Zaleski twice his name. I don't know, bro. He's Brazilian. They have weird names. Neil Magny is meant to fight Gunnar Nelson back in New Orleans at UFC 318. Nelson pulled it out. And they pushed Neil Magny back a couple weeks, and they gave him Zaleski dos Santos. Dos Santos minus 215. He's 38, though. Neil Magny's almost 38. He's going to be 38 in tomorrow, I think, bro. He's literally going to be 38 tomorrow. He's 37 years, 11 months, 4 weeks, 2 days. That's actually crazy. But, yeah, he's 38, basically. And Zaleski's almost 39. So they're both really old. Neil Magny's a grappler. Zaleski dos Santos is a capoeira kickboxer, which works against some people, but the flying knee stuff, the spinning stuff, eventually you're gonna get too old for it, and I think Zaleski's like that. He was like a minus 200, 215 favorite against Chidi and Jokoani, and then he got KO'd in round two. So he's basically the same odds against Neil Magny. I've also interviewed Neil Magny, and I think he can win this if he uses grappling. And yeah, the only thing I don't like is that he's been KO'd twice in his last two fights. He goes out there, he TKOs Mike Malott, which he was a big underdog. Then he goes and gets KO'd by Mike Morales, and then he got brutally KO'd by Carlos Prates November 9th of 2024. So almost a couple months less than a year ago. So yeah, I am gonna pick Neil Magny. It's not because I interviewed him. Zaleski just not just there to get hit on the feet. So is Neil Magny, but the Magny's long. He's got a 7-inch reach advantage on him and a 4-inch reach or height advantage. I think Neil could stick jabs, stick 1-2s. If Zaleski tries coming in, Neil could, Neil could land some knees to the body. He has ways to win on the feet. He's gonna just be able to use his length and yeah, and I think Zaleski hits harder, and I think he's quicker. But if Zaleski rushes in, like trying to slip in, Neil Magny is great takedowns. He has good grappling, good submissions. And I think he'll be able to shoot a takedown, get him down. Stick him at range, stick him at range. Zaleski tries rushing in. Neil gets the body lock, trips him, gets the body lock, works him against the cage, takes him down. And I'm going to say Neil Magny wins 29-28 decision. Just being able to be longer, shoot the takedowns. I can see him getting dropped early, to be honest. I can see, Zaleski, they're in the clinch. Zaleski breaks, lands that elbow. Neil drops. There's like later in round one, Zaleski tries falling up for a ground and pound. Neil survives, and it's like, ooh, is Neil's chin still there? Is he now chinny? Is his durability gone? And then Neil, he stays more defensive. Doesn't throw as much output, just time stuff more, and is able to win a close decision like that. I'm gonna sway a split decision for Neil Magny. He get back in the win column, and then he could probably fight another veteran, someone like Jake Matthews or something like that. Someone that's outside the rings. Maybe Stephen Thompson. Who knows? But yeah, give me Neil Magny. I think Neil Magny can get it. He's had a full training camp. Zaleski has not. He's took this on like 3 weeks' notice. So, he might have trouble making weight. Who knows? So, yeah, give me Neil Magny. Next fight, Carl Rosa versus Nora Cornoli. I'm going to make this super simple. Carol Rosa had a Fight of the Year contender against Irina Aldana. And she looked really good. I believe she lost it, though. She did, didn't she? Yeah, she lost it. And then she fought Penny Kianze and looked really good. And then she fought Eileen Perez and looked bad. Irene Aldana and Penny Kianze are there. They stand there. They get hit often. Eileen Perez doesn't. And if you're a fighter that can move around and pivot and shoot takedowns, you're going to be able to probably beat Carol Rosa pretty comfortably. And Nora Cornoli, her biggest critic when she came to the UFC was she can't grapple. She doesn't have good submission defense. Now she's going out there her last fight in UFC 314, submitting her opponent. Before that she lost to Jacqueline Cavalcanti, but she KO'd Melissa Mullins. She beat Jocelyn Edwards. She has some alright wins. Oh, she's lost to Jacqueline Cavalcanti twice. Okay. Anyway, she doesn't get, but her thing is she doesn't stand there and get hit. She pivots off. She uses lateral foot movement. She lands body kick. She throws body kicks. She throws elbows and close. She'll shoot a takedown. And I think Nora Cornoli will win a 30-27 decision. Um, Carl Rosa is old. She's 30 something. She's pretty up there in age. Oh no, never mind. She's 30. Oh, Nora Cornoli is 35. I thought it was the other way around. Cornoli, she's the underdog. I'm gonna take her the underdog. I think she's just better on the feet and better on the ground. And I think Carl Rosa, she's 18-7. Corneli's 9-2, so she doesn't even have that much MMA experience. I think she had like 5 fights in the UFC though. So yeah, I think Corneli's gonna get it done. But I think it's as high as she goes in the rankings, like 7 or 8. I don't think either of these girls ever hit top 5 or in title contention. But Nora Cornoli has the momentum on the side. I think she's more slick on the feet, she's more evasive, and I think she'll get it done. So yeah, give me Nora Cornoli. But yeah, not a bad fight. This actually should be a pretty fun fight. Featured fight: Esteban Rivovics versus Elvis Brenner. Elvis Brenner came in the UFC, and they were going to use him as slaughter. They were going to use him to build names for other guys. He came in there as a big underdog and beat Zubija Turkogovanov. It was some dude that a lot of people thought was really good, and I think I remember this. I think I thought that Brenner's lost, but he still won. So yeah, he won, and then his next fight, like 5 months later, Grudem Kudalaladze, he got the dog crap beat out of him for 2 rounds. Head body shots on the ground. He was bleeding all out of his face. It was bad. He was getting busted up. Came in there and broke Grudem Kudalaladze and got a TKO late in round 3 and won. Crazy. After getting like 10-8. Yeah, he was getting beat up and still won. Then he comes back in November and KOs this dude, I don't know how to say your name. Kayan Krushkakai? Yeah, I don't know your name, bro. But yeah, he came in there and KO'd him. He was meant to fight Esteban Rivovics, actually. And then it got canceled and he fought some bum. KO'd him in round 1. It was a KO of the year contender. He flatlined him. It was brutal. And then, he fought Miktabek Orlova and Joe Alvarez. He got dominated by Orlova for all 3 rounds and then got KO'd. He had never been KO'd before, and then he finally got KO'd by Joe Alvarez. And then he was meant to fight Daniel Sahuberg back in March. It got canceled. And now he's fighting Esteban Rivovics. And I'm going Rivovics. Um, Being tough in the UFC only gets you so far. You taking beatings until your opponent gasses out only works sometimes, and it's not gonna work against Rivovics. Rivovics has good gassing. He's really durable. He's coming off a loss to Nasser at half brass. I personally thought he won rounds 2 and 3, and or maybe 1 and 3. I know he won the third, and I just thought he won. And then before that, he had literally the fight of the year against Daniel Zellweger. Won that, cashed me, made me some money at the spear. Uh, he was durable there. Like got dropped and then came back in the third round and hit Daniel Zellweger with like 85 significant strikes. Like threw like an 85 punch combo on Zellweger body and head, needs the body as well. It was crazy. He's minus 285. He's older than Brenner, but I don't rate Brenner. Like for scale, I don't rate Brenner that highly. He hits pretty hard. His submissions are pretty okay, but he's not technically sound. And Rivix is. He's technically sound. His defense is pretty decent, and he hits hard. So I gotta go Rivix. I'm gonna go Rivix by TKO in round 3. I think he's just gonna be able to break Brenner, and you know what? I think he's gonna be a body shot. Brenner's been hurt with body shots before in a lot of his fights in the UFC and on the regionals. And I think Rivas is gonna rip like a 3 punch body shot, like a 3 punch combo to the body, like a knee, step back, jab to the body, and then rip a hook. And Brenner's gonna go down and ground and pound. And I think Esteban Rivas will get it done, get back in the win column, and then probably get one more win, and then probably maybe a top 15 opponent. I think Rivas has top 10 potential if he works on his defense a little more, because his skills, his kicking, his clinch game are decent, and even his like defensive grappling is pretty damn good. So yeah. I think this is kind of easy win for Rubix. I think he's gonna be able to outwork and just outmaneuver Brenner for the entire fight, and I think he's gonna TKO him in round 3. So give me Esteban Rivovics. Co-main event: Chris Duncan versus Mateus Rebetsky, also in the lightweight division. 2 lightweight fights back to back. Um, they both train at American Top Team. They literally are teammates. There was like a photo a week or two ago of them literally taking a photo while training for each other. It was a weird situation. Um, uh, they're both 32. Duncan's older by a couple months. Duncan has been an underdog in his lot of UFC fights, and then came back and won. And then Rumbetsky was a big, like it was like a 4-1, 5-1 favorite over Diego Ferreira. Got dog walked and beat up. Like, yeah, he got battered. There's a picture of his eye. Oh my, it's disgusting. And then he came back in October and beat Miktabek Orban, a fight of the year contender. So he had 2 fight of the year contenders in the same year. It was crazy. He's back against Chris Duncan after some time off. And I'm gonna go Rimbetsky. I like Chris Duncan. I actually think he's quite good. I really wanted to see him fight T-Rex. Terrence McKinney. Never happened. But I think Duncan probably would have won that. But actually, I don't know. Duncan's chin is sometimes iffy. If Terrence could clip him, then who knows? But I'm gonna go Rimbetsky by decision. No, I'm gonna go by TKO. Rebecki hits hard in the first. I'm actually gonna go first round TKO. That's crazy, right? But he hits like a Mack truck in the first round, and Duncan has been dropped. He's been KO'd. He's been submitted, and I think there's gonna be an exchange, and Duncan's gonna get clipped on the chin and dropped out, get dropped brutally. Rebecki's gonna fall up ground and pound at like midway, late round 1. Like it's being competitive. Duncan is landing some calf kicks. In the clinch, Rumbeski's getting the better with like the knees of the head, but Duncan's, he's landing some uppercuts there to the head in the clinch, and they're just gonna exchange, and Duncan's gonna throw a lead hook, Rumbeski's gonna throw straight like under the lead hook, and it's gonna touch Duncan on the chin. He's gonna drop, and I think Rumbeski will get a first round KO, and then he might get like a top 15 opponent. Um, but don't be surprised if Duncan wins by like crazy, like a close decision. But I think Rumbeski just hits harder. I think he's the better athlete. He's a little older, and he does have more experience in MMA. So yeah, give me Mentesh Rebetsky by first round KO. I think this could be a fight of the year though. Same with Brenner versus Rivix. If they go 15 minutes, all 15, I think it could genuinely be a fight of the year contender. Especially Duncan versus Rebetsky. They're training partners at American Top Team. They know each other's game pretty good. I don't know how often they train, but I think it's gonna be an absolute banger. I know I'm saying first round KO, but if it doesn't happen by first round KO and it gets to the third round, I think it's going to be an all-out war. But I think Rimbeski will probably just be able to get him out there early. He hits really hard in the first round, and I don't know if Duncan can take a clean shot from him. So yeah, Rimbe, give me Montanus Rimbeski by first round KO. Main event: Tatsuro Taira versus Hung Seung Park. Um, Tatsuro Taira's older or younger, excuse me. He's 16-1. Hung Seung Park is 10-0. Uh, I think this is all Tatsuro Taira. I mean, come on, guys. He has a close split decision loss to Brandon Royval, who was the number one contender at the time, and then Hung Seung Park's best win is Carlos Hernandez by submission, who is not even in the UFC anymore. Um, yeah, I mean, Hong Song Park's 10-0, 4 wins by knockout, 5 by submission. But Tatsuro Taira just fought the better competition. He's been in the main event twice. This is his third main event. He fought Alex Perez in the main event. Yeah, it was a bad fight, and um, Alex Perez got a knee injury, but then he fought Royval in the main event. He also fought Carlos Hernandez. He KO'd him. He beat Edgar Cyrus, who wasn't even that bad. Submitted Jesus Aguilar and CJ Vergara. So yeah, and he has a lot more UFC experience. On the feet, I mean, boxing wise, I think Hong Sung Park can do okay, but I think Tatsuro Taira's gonna get a takedown. I think in the clinch too. I think he'll like get an inside trip. Hong Sung Park will rush back to the feet and he'll get guillotined. I think Tatsuro Taira will get a guillotine um, round two, round 2 or 3. I don't have a lot to break down. I don't like this shouldn't be a main event. The Hung Sun Park's not. He's number 30 in the world. He's not even in the top 15, and he's not fighting. He's not beating Tatsuro Taira. I don't even think this will be a close fight. I think Tatsuro Taira will get a guillotine, and then he'll probably fight Brandon Moreno, fight something like that. Maybe Minette Cop, and then he'll if he can win one more like that, maybe a title shot. But yeah, I don't have a lot to say on this. I think this is gonna be all Tatsuro Taira. But it is cool that two, Asian Japanese guys, it's first time they're main eventing. Like two South, like two people from that region main eventing. So that's cool that it's making history. But I think this will be the Tatsuro Taira show. All dominance from Tatsuro Taira. And then Hong Sun Park can go back and fight somebody not that well known. But yeah, guys. That was my UFC Fight Night Tatsuro Taira versus Hong Sun Park breakdown. Appreciate y'all watching. Let me know your predictions in the comments. Let me know if if you think I'm right or wrong on fights, and I'll catch y'all later. Appreciate you watching.